Take one. Hopefully the only take.
Yeah.
Dan, how are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good, man. Thanks for coming up to the office.
Yeah, happy to.
Absolutely. How's your day?
So far so good.
Yeah?
Great, yeah.
You and Katie got big plans for the weekend?
Just hang out with friends. Yeah. Not much going on, so.
Good,
Yeah.
good. Now remind me how you know Brandy, because I know Brandy was the one that introduced us.
Sure, Brandy and I went to school together.
Okay.
Known her for years now. We've just kind of always kept in touch here in the Dallas area.
Okay.
Yeah.
And where'd you go to school?
We went to SMU.
Great.
Yeah.
Good deal. Kind of a tough year for SMU football, huh?
Yeah. It's been tough for a while, but that's okay.
The whole death penalty is a difficult thing to recover from.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I know you're busy, so we'll dive right in.
Okay.
The agenda for our time together today is simply, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my background, okay? Kind of my story in the business, the company that I'm with, AXA, tell you a little bit more about us, the ways in which we serve our clients, and then we'll discuss what the potential next steps are from there.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Anything in particular that you want to make sure that we cover with our time together?
No, I did have some interest in speaking with you. We've got some things going on. I think this is just a relevant time to have this conversation.
Okay, great. Well, we will certainly dive into those as those things pop up.
Okay.
So, real quick story on me. Originally from this area, grew up in the DFW area. Went to school on the East Coast, played football at Harvard, graduated from there, and came back to Texas. My wife and I, we met while we were both in college, and so we came back to Texas and immediately got into the investment business about 12 years ago now, straight out of college.
Okay.
Initially, I was with a large investment brokerage firm, more in an analyst role, but very quickly realized that I wanted to be working more with people, taking all of that knowledge and using it to impact people's lives in a positive way. That is what prompted me to get into financial advising, and ultimately affiliated with AXA, and I'll elaborate more on why AXA here in just a moment.
Okay.
Been in the business now for 10 years, all of those years with AXA. Have a practice of working with primarily young families just like yourself. So young professionals who are doing well and are beginning to take seriously looking out into the future and planning for their families.
Okay, great.
Also one of the senior vice presidents in our Dallas office. So I work with a team of advisors. And I mention that because it's important that you know that I'm a part of a team, and therefore, if there's ever anything that comes up and I'm not immediately available, I've got a team that supports me, and we've got you covered.
Okay, great. Perfect.
So a little bit about AXA. Tell me what you know about AXA thus far.
I'm aware that you guys are a big firm. I haven't done a lot of research on it though, so that's as far as my knowledge goes.
No problem. Let me give you the story there. So we are indeed a big firm, actually the 19th largest company in the world, based on the latest global Fortune 500 list.
Okay.
So just to give you some context, that sandwiches us between Apple and GM. So huge financial organization. We have roots that go back over 150 years here in the U.S. Just some basic statistics, we operate in 55 countries. Managed north of $1.5 trillion in assets. And the reason that I mention those numbers is simply to let you know that it is indeed a world-class financial firm with extensive resources to empower me as an advisor to meet the needs of my clients.
Great.
Some of the brands that AXA owns here in the U.S., AXA Advisors is who I'm with. So we are the financial planning organization within AXA. And then you've got AXA Distributors, which is our third-party distribution arm. AllianceBernstein is a large private and institutional wealth manager. They actually supply research to over 2/3 of the pension funds on Wall Street. So we lean heavily on the work that they do. AXA Equitable, third largest life and annuity company in the world. And then the Money Group, which is another large financial services firm that AXA owns. AXA Network is our sister company, and they really provide us the platform from which we operate and allow us to engage with our clients in the way that we do. So what I mean by that is we operate from what's called open architecture. And what that means is we are not bound to any one particular company's products. we can offer investment and insurance vehicles through a number of different companies as if we work for those companies themselves.
Okay.
So on the investment front, a lot of companies that you'll have some familiarity with, companies like BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Vanguard, Fidelity, American Funds. Similar story on the insurance side, over 120 different carriers whose products we offer, companies like Pac-Life, Prudential, Lincoln. The important thing about that is that it allows us to focus on strategy first. Because what often happens is that people, they start with products. You graduate from college, maybe you do a 401k, you buy a house, you get some term life insurance or whatever, and you have this portfolio of rather unrelated goods and strategies almost an afterthought. So what we do is we sit down and we start with strategy first. What are your goals? What are your objectives? What do you want to accomplish over the next 5, 10, 15 years? And then we allow that strategy to inform what your overall portfolio should look like. And then we can fill that portfolio with the absolute best products on the planet to meet your needs.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah, that's great.
Any questions on anything I've covered up to this point?
No, it's all very clear.
Okay, good. I will leave that for you.
Okay.
Now, have you and Katie worked with a financial advisor before?
No, I think we unfortunately fall into that common approach that you were talking about. We've just kind of gone step by step.
Sure.
So we have investment accounts. We have other things that we've done. It's just been here and there that we really don't seek advice from anybody.
Okay, got it. So very much on that common approach side, which is good that you've done some things. And let me kind of share with you what we do as advisors to bring all of that together.
Okay.
So we work in 3 primary areas: investment management, risk management, and we do it through the process of financial planning.
Okay.
So in the world of investments, it's everything that you might typically imagine with individual investing. So fixed income, that's going to be your bonds, CDs, those types of vehicles. Equity investments, that's the stock market, so we can do individual equities, index funds, ETFs, mutual funds. We hold those in all different types of accounts for our clients. So kids' college savings accounts, trust accounts, brokerage accounts, retirement accounts. Again, the important thing to remember here is that we work through hundreds of different companies, can access thousands of different options for our clients. Risk management, simply a fancy word for insurance. So it's helping our clients protect the assets that they're accumulating in the investment world.
Okay.
So we do life insurance, all 4 types, annuities, both fixed and variable, and then disability and long-term care insurance. The method to the madness of all of that, though, Dan, is financial planning. And that is the process of, one, just kind of sitting down and having an initial conversation. And then if indeed it makes sense to move forward in the process, then we do what we call a profile. So that's where we do a much deeper dive into your situation and talk more about your goals. And then from there, I'm going to construct a strategy based on everything that you guys tell me is important to you. I'll come back and I'll present you with a plan. And from that plan, there will be recommendations as to here's what I recommend that you do in order to work towards the accomplishment of the goals that you said are important to you. So we're going to have several conversations, a couple meetings probably before I make any recommendations. From there, we move towards implementation. And then the really cool thing about all of this, and really what I love most about my job, is the review. And so my clients, I really get to walk through life with them, and we're going to review that plan because things change. More kids enter the picture, jobs change, goals change, and the plan should change accordingly. So that's the process by which I engage with and kind of operate with my clients. Some of the things that clients typically engage me to help them plan around: asset allocation, that's how aggressive or conservative they should be relative to their goals. Retirement planning, it's figuring out what's your number to become financially independent. How do you begin to work towards that? Education funding for folks that have young children in the house. How much money is it going to cost to send them to school? Survivorship planning, that's the science behind life insurance. It's figuring out if something were to happen to you or to Katie for that matter, what would life look like financially for the surviving spouse and for your little guy.
Okay.
Disability is insuring your paycheck. Estate planning is for clients we're looking at the tax efficient transfer of wealth. Retirement distribution planning, this is more like our parents' age, where they are thinking through how do I now generate income out of the assets that I've accumulated. And then business planning is a series of things we do for our clients that own their own businesses. That's a lot of stuff with Canvas, a lot of ground there, Dan. Looking at this, what are your guys' top financial priorities right now?
We do have a little one, so if we talk about, we have education goals for him.
Mm-hmm.
Retirement savings is something that we've just kind of done here and there.
Okay.
I would like to get an idea around what we're actually doing and what we should be at.
Sure.
And then, just our other goals are we'd like to, have a second home one day. We'd like to be in a place where we have investable assets to do what we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Really just be in a spot where we feel confident about, never really being in a financial bind.
Got it. Okay. So I've got college planning, beginning to look out at what will that look like in terms of the goals that you have. Now tell me your young one's name. George. And how old is George?
He's just 3 months.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
And George is your only one?
Yes.
Great. And then I heard financial independence and retirement planning, which is getting to that place where you can pretty much do whatever you want. Work becomes optional, so to speak. Okay. Excellent. What have you guys done so far in these areas, if anything, for that matter?
So I actually have, come into some money from grandparents, and that's really just gone into, I've got some of it in the bank, I've got some of it that is just kind of sitting over at E-Trade, actually.
Okay.
I was trying to play around with that.
Yeah. How actively have
so,
you been managing that money?
I haven't. So,
Okay.
Yeah. So really it's getting an idea of what we can actually do with that.
Okay.
And then retirement, I do my 401k, my employer matches that.
Okay.
But I think I'm at the right level, I'm just not sure.
Okay. Got it. What about your life insurance? What are you guys doing there?
That's, unfortunately, we don't have, much. I have some through the employer.
Okay.
But we probably need to look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Once kids enter the picture, it's really important to begin to look at if, God forbid, anything were to happen, what would be the financial implications of that, and allowing, let's just say you, Katie and George, to continue on in the lifestyle that you become accustomed to providing for them. So really beginning to paint a picture of what that would look like. Well, Dan, I tell you, based on what you've told me, it sounds like you've done a good job of beginning to take some initial steps towards all these things. And I think you guys would really enjoy and benefit from going through this planning process and really creating some clarity around each one of these goals and kind of tying everything together and seeing how it all can work towards the accomplishment of those goals.
Okay.
Would you agree that that makes sense?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I would like my wife to be here, and I'm not really sure how long that'll take, but I think we want to go down that path.
Excellent. Yeah, so let me kind of shed some light on that in terms of what the process looks like.
Okay.
So the next step would be the three of us, you, me, Katie, getting together. I totally agree. I think make a ton of sense for her to join us. And we're going to do a much more thorough, much more detailed dive into each one of these areas, both on what you've done so far and then also what you want to accomplish.
Okay.
From there, I'm going to take all that information and going to come back and present you guys with a plan. And from that plan, I'll have actual recommendations as to what makes the most sense for you guys to do in light of your goals. At which point you make a decision, give me the thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever, and we implement accordingly.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right. Is there a day of the week that is perhaps better or best for you and Katie to meet?
I can probably sneak out on a Friday afternoon if I can spend a little more time.
Yeah, we probably should allot close to 45 minutes to an hour for that meeting, so like a late Friday afternoon. And where do you guys live?
Right down in Dallas.
Okay. Typically, it makes a lot of sense to do that meeting at y'all's house. One, out of convenience factor. I know how that can be with young ones. but then also any information that we need relative to statements on your existing investments or whatever, you're going to have those handy at the house.
Okay.
So we'll have that all readily accessible.
Yeah, that works for us.
Good. How does next Friday look for you guys?
That should be great.
Okay.
I think we can make that work.
All right, check with Katie to confirm, but let's go ahead and pencil that in.
Okay.
We'll do like 3:30 next Friday.
Sure.
All right, excellent. Any other questions for me?
What do I need to have? I mean, we just statements or?
Yeah, so any statements that you have from any existing 401ks from previous employers, the life insurance, you mentioned you have a little bit there, will all be very helpful for us in terms of gathering a clear picture of where things are.
Okay, I can do that.
Excellent. Good. One last thing is that I want to make sure that we cover early on is how am I compensated for what I do. So there's really 3 different ways in which I can get paid for the work that I do. One of those is I am licensed, I have the ability to, and on rare occasion will actually charge an hourly fee or a consultative rate for going through this planning process. I'm not going to do that now because I don't want that to stand in the way of us getting to know each other, see how we work, and just see if there's a good fit in terms of us working together. So I'm going to do all the work, put the plan together for free. From that will be inevitably some recommendations that I have on what you guys can be doing to work towards the goals that we identified. And that's kind of the second way in which I'm compensated. So within any investment vehicle or insurance product, there is a mechanism built into that goes to compensate me. So the important thing there is you don't have to write me a separate check. Now, we'll fully disclose what all those fees are and how all that works depending on what the recommendations are. But again, you don't have to write me a separate check. It's built into the investment vehicles or the insurance products that we'll use. The third way, and it's somewhat indirect, but I like to mention it, is through referrals and introductions. So in the same way that Brandy introduced me to you, the primary way that I grow my practice is through referrals and introductions from folks who see value in the work and the service that I've provided to them. So as we go through this process, if indeed you see that value, I'll ask you for some folks that you think would benefit from a conversation similar to the one that you and I had today.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. Okay.
Wonderful. Well, any other questions for me on anything that we've covered up to this point?
No, it's very clear. Thank you.
Okay, excellent. Well, I look forward to meeting Katie, and you get again next Friday, 3:30. And if any questions pop up in the meantime, don't hesitate to give me a shout.
All right. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Dan.
Yep.
Happy New Year. Okay. Whoops.
18 minutes.
18.
Pretty close.
Yeah, I told you it's close. By 3 minutes.
Are we good?
We're good.
Where's that going?